Welcome to this week's Design Driven by Greg episode. Our adventure today will be a little different. As a reminder, half the year we live in Eugene, Oregon. Love the summers there. The other half, we take our motor coach to Arizona. We enjoy the winter months there with its high desert life and beauty. One day, we received an invitation to see my stepdaughter's new house in Louisiana. We love traveling and accepted the invitation. The moment we crossed into Louisiana, the landscape got greener, the air got thicker, the accents got sweeter, and sure glad it wasn't mosquito season. The new house stood tall and bright. The place looked like it should be on HGTV. I loved the roof lines, the white painted bricks. The back porch was big, comfortable, and had its modern southern charm and a beautiful view of the pond. Kathleen and Doug have good taste in design. It really was a house that personality built. The kitchen island was so big it needed its own zip code. The color palette was tasteful, and the hardware was refreshing. Enough talking. Take a look. Did it give you some ideas? We went on a proper Louisiana adventure. I climbed aboard an airboat that looked like it was built for pure adventure. Good thing they gave us earmuffs. As the engine roared to life, I realized two things. One, this boat was louder than a rock concert inside a jet engine. Two, I was about to meet alligators on their home turf. Suddenly, we were gliding through water that reflected the sky like a mirror. Peaceful. Cypress trees towered overhead, draped in Spanish moss that swayed like slow-motion curtains. Seeing an alligator felt a jolt of awe. What a welcome to Louisiana. A few days out of the week were spent in some quaint shops, filled with handmade treasures, local art, and pieces of charm that seemed to whisper, "Take me home." One day, we walked into Victory Silk's interiors. It felt like stepping into a world where color, texture, and imagination all spoke at once. Janice emerged, the owner of the shop, and invited us to explore every corner that revealed all types of silk flower products. We were there to buy high-quality silks that would be arranged for the marble countertop in the kitchen. She created an arrangement of white orchids, variety of proteas, my favorite being pincushions. She selected each stem that we handed her with intention, adjusting angles and layers until the piece felt alive. As she placed the final filler material, she stepped back with a satisfied smile. The arrangement was stunning. Saturday afternoon, there was a large family gathering for a crawdad feed. Crawdads cleaned, pots boiling, spices filled the air. The table that was covered with paper overflowed with crawdads, corn, potatoes, and sausage. I did learn the proper technique: pinch, twist, savor, guided by relatives who had been doing it since childhood. One evening we headed to Steamboat, a historic restaurant that felt like stepping into another era. The building had stories in its walls. You could feel it the moment you walked inside. Dinner was unforgettable. Perfectly cooked red snapper with a twice-baked potato. I looked around the old dining room, the warm lighting, and thought this feels like stepping into the past, but being welcomed as part of the future. On Sunday, we wrapped up the trip with a brunch that felt like the perfect finale. The food did not disappoint, rich, flavorful, and comforting. Must be why they call it comfort food. The name of the restaurant is Cajun, but what made it unforgettable was the live French Cajun music, fiddles, accordions, guitars, voices singing in a language that felt both old and alive. It wasn't just a meal, it was a celebration of culture and history. On Monday, our last full day in Louisiana, there was one project that needed to be completed: Kathleen's office. She wanted a new wallpaper design that complemented her taste and vision. High ceilings stretched upward. I knew it was going to be a hard project to execute. Why? We needed to wallpaper the ceiling. No scaffold, just 2 ladders. It looks simple until you're actually trying to line up the wallpaper with each other. There was laughter, a few muttered curses, and at least one moment where someone was stuck holding a strip of wallpaper above their head for far too long. Then came the chandelier. When one talks about design-driven, an absolute perfect place for it. I told Kathleen that when we finished the project, I want to do something special. I saw something I had never encountered in all my travels: a drive-through daiquiri shop. I wanted to order one. I don't even like alcoholic beverages, just wanted to say that I did it. A full-blown business where you can drive up in your car and order a frozen cocktail like it was a cheeseburger. I wonder if McDonald's is listening. I laughed every time I passed one, only in Louisiana. It instantly became one of my favorite discoveries of my trip. I want to thank Kathleen and Doug for their Southern hospitality. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Everywhere I go, I have an eye for design. That is what drives me. Remember to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and keep blooming and keep listening.